So, as we have already said, the statistics are clear. We have quite a number of young people who are not employed, quite a number of young people who are underemployed, and quite a number of young people who are under employment. Under and under, because those are two things. There are young people who are unemployed, meaning they have no job. But there are those who are underemployed, meaning that they are doing a job which is probably a quarter of what they should be doing. You've seen those people who, they sweep and they sit for the whole day. I mean, when you sweep for 10 minutes and sit for 8 hours, you are underemployed. You are not, you can't say you are not employed. But we know that government has been responding, and let me now summarize some of the programs that we have in the paper. One is the Youth Livelihood Program. You know, this one started about 10 years ago, 2013, 2014. Its target is unemployed young people and unprivileged youth. It has free, interest-free revolving funds. It has disbursed over 168 billion, reached over 254,000 young people. They say in terms of benefits that up to 20,522 youth projects were reached, which is serviced up to about 247,000 youth, 46 of those who were female. The benefits, there is what has come out of this program is financial inclusion, business formalization, but also asset growth, meaning that some young people have some assets. Now, this is something that has been reported in the secondary data that we analyzed. But as I said, if we had the chance to do some basic, research, we could go and actually talk to those beneficiaries to see what is their growth path in terms of how they have been impacted by this program. But one of the issues is, of course, there is low recovery, how to recover money from young people. And that is at 52%, meaning that what has been able to be recovered is up to 52%. But there is also a bit of misuse and sometimes some political interference with people, confusing these young people. But despite all this, I think it is an instrumental program that is important. We all know about PDM. I won't say a lot about it, but the key points that we could say is, it was introduced 2022 to decentralize development funds to parish and to support the transition and the transmission and transition of people from subsistence to a money economy. I think the president is the one who has this very interesting work called Chidachonga, which essentially is about those who work only for the stomach, and to try and move you from working only for the stomach to working for other things beyond your belt. It has 100 million per parish as a revolving fund, and it is channeled through circles. And I think for young people, youth-led enterprises are also have a portion of that PDM money. Of course, the challenges are still there. It's very early to do a good analysis of PDM in terms of impact, but I think there are still issues around the delays, around the structures at the local level, around some of the political capture in some places, and all that is still a problem. But it is a promising program, and I think that's what we could say, that it has the seeds to actually graduate fully into something that can empower young people. You have also heard about the Myoga. The Myoga is another program that is out there, launched in 2019. It targets borders, people in the informal sector, tailors, carpenters, through funding their circles. It has disbursed up to 78 billion Uganda shillings, over 78 billion to these informal worker circles. One of the biggest things I think that has come out as a positive is that it has been able to mobilize some of these informal sector workers into cooperatives. These circles are, cooperatives in some sense, and that is a very helpful thing because it helps them to actually aggregate their capacity, their skills, and their network, and be able to participate better in the economy. Still, low payment seems to be an issue there, as well as limited financial discipline for some of these circles. And some places, they were reporting that they were rushed formation. So people know they've done a coming up, then they agree to form something quickly, but you know how quick things are. It's like instant coffee. It's not the most healthy. So that is something that is there, but there is also misuse that has been reported in some places. But the impact is that this program has mobilized some young people and promoted entrepreneurship in many ways. Skilling Uganda is another one, and this a couple of others, and then I'll move on to the rest. That was launched in 2012. It's about modernizing vocational education to address the issue of youth unemployment. It covers rural and urban areas. 90% of the graduates have found employment from those who have gone through Skilling Uganda, particularly the young women and the marginalized groups that have been targeted. Challenges is that, of course, it is still one that is not fully easily accessed by young people across the country. And the future efforts are focused on increasing accessibility. Then we have the presidential initiative on skilling the girl child. I think that's also one important program that has come out, launched in April 2017 by the president. It aims to empower economically disadvantaged young women through vocational skills training. It targets unemployed, especially young women. It focuses on things like tailoring, things like hairdressing and others, but also it has a very minimal entry, requirements. The curriculum is hands-on, practical. They train them through very practical ways, ensuring that the graduates, when they finish, they have employable skills. And upon completion, they are given some startup capital of up to 1 million shillings to encourage entrepreneurship. As of May 2024, they had reached up to nearly 36,000 women who were enrolled, and approximately 16,000 had graduated already. So it is doing a good job. Many have started successfully businesses that have gone through Skilling Uganda. However, the initiative still faces some challenges. One of them is that the amount of money that is needed to train one girl is about 4 million shillings. So you can imagine, and this is a short course. So honorable, even these small courses are expensive in their own nature. So these are things that we should be thinking about. The Uganda Investment Authority has an interesting one called the apprenticeship program. This was initiated by Vintage Communication, and it is usually fresh graduates. And what happens is they equip youth with business management skills through supporting them to work in SMEs. And they learn skills like record keeping, customer care, and other things like that. And it also sort of supports and promotes self-employment opportunities, so that when young people go through some of these, they can go and transfer them elsewhere. So it's about really making sure that for these young people, they can become employable afterwards. So it's an interesting program. Then there is the Youth Inspiring Youth in Agriculture Initiative, the YIA Agriculture Initiative. This was launched by the Food and Agriculture Organization, as well as the Young Farmers Champion Network. It addresses youth unemployment by promoting youth engagement in agriculture and agribusiness through things like mentorship and also capacity building. and it operates competitively. So they have to go through some kind of competition, and they recognize the young agripreneurs and youth champions, and these receive some kind of financial reward afterwards. In 2021, the program expanded significantly, attracting about 1,400 applications, selecting more than 270 youth, including 35 national champions. It has impacted the young people somehow, but again, it's a small program, limited access. Poor rural infrastructure, but also for agriculture, the climate variability, meaning the way that climate changes, is an issue. So as you can see, there are many programs, but they are little, small experiments. If you think about the fact that we are talking about over 70% of our population, that is something for us to think about. The last one I want to talk about is not exactly a government program, but Ricahrd Foundation has this very interesting program called Young Africa Works. It was initiated by the foundation